Postgame Live, brought to you by Toyota. Let me say hello to Monty Pool, Zena Cada. I'm Kerith Burke. So we saw the fight, we saw the compete, the no quit. Monty, what are your takeaways from this game?
They played really hard. They tied the game up in the fourth quarter. They played from behind the whole game, tied it in the third quarter, and then didn't come back in the fourth. But they didn't play smart.
Why do you say that?
They didn't play smart. Shot selection. The Thunder had no rim protection. When the Warriors took advantage of that, it went well for them.
Okay.
But they took 45 shots from deep, which is fine if you make, I don't know, 40%. They made 31%. To me, it's that third quarter is when they came back. It took 6 3-pointers in that third quarter. 6.
Okay. You're saying just 6, yeah.
Just
They
6.
didn't rely on that.
Just 6. First quarter, they took 17. Second quarter, they took, fourth quarter, they took 13.
Okay.
13 of their 21 shots in the fourth quarter were from 3. They made 2 of them.
Okay. Now, I'm looking over
They made
here,
6 of 8 inside the arc, though.
To the Warriors' credit, 42 points in the paint to OKC's 28. They did, with their personnel, it did look like they were trying to balance the offense, but the shots, you're saying the ones that they took at certain times?
I'm saying when they heard Chet Holmgren was off the court, he's the only guy who blocks more shots is Victor Wembanyama. When they heard Chet was out of the game, it would seem to me that they would go, you know what, the offense tonight, let's go at the rim and see what happens.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams is not going to stop anybody. So it just, watching the first quarter, I'm going, what are they doing? What are they doing?
Okay.
And they were just casting away. And I'm like, the rim is there for you.
Sure.
And then at halftime, I thought, okay, maybe they had a conversation because in the third quarter, they went to the rim. They won the quarter by 10 points. In the fourth quarter, they said, nah, let's go back to what we did in the first half.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't make sense to me.
What do you think, Zita?
No, I definitely see your point. We agree on the playing hard, absolutely.
Yeah.
And when it comes to just thinking about the shot selection, in the third quarter and the fourth quarter combined, in the second half, the Warriors went 1 for 10 in the paint. Now, in the restricted area, they were able to get a little bit more. They were able to get all the way downhill. But in the paint, they really struggled to get that, little floater or in just being able to meet up with the trees or the defense. And so I think that there was a little bit of, we missed those shots. I'm not going to take those shots. You saw Nate Williams miss some shots within that range. You saw Kristaps Porzingis miss some shots. We saw several different Warriors struggle to get those little bunnies off, and it felt as if they did decide, let's go out. This is the thing, though, that I will say I'm okay with the shots they took because a lot of them were open. OKC was not rotating nearly what we typically expect them to rotate like, and the Warriors were getting some shots that were wide open. There were some even, I think GP2 made a 3 in that corner, or at least attempted a 3 in the corner that I was like, spacing was a little tight.
Yeah.
Don't know if we need to do that, but overall, are we not entertained?
Yeah, no, precisely.
The Warriors came into this game with a 14% win probability.
Yeah.
And there were moments where they could have won this game.
Yep.
So that was great basketball, a big difference from what ESPN had last time when the Warriors played up against OKC, or primetime television. I don't know who it was that had that last game. But yeah, they cleaned it up.
They were underdogs in this game, and they had a valiant effort against the #1 team in the league. We go into the first half because actually OKC had their 3-point shooting going on, arriving at an efficient 11 of 20 from, I think that was the total from halftime. Yeah, what did you notice about OKC getting hot from 3?
Well, I thought the Warriors defensively scrambled around, but there were too many instances where their rotation was just a little bit late and got off an easy shot, or an open shot at least. And I thought they got better in the second half than it was in the first half. First half was really, OKC was dicing them up pretty good. And I think some of that will be discussed before the game, where their shots weren't falling and maybe it affected their defense a little bit. But I thought in the second half, the Warriors played pretty good defense for the most part.
KB, I'm going to have to tap back into you as the analyst that we were together the other night against the Clippers. And when we looked at this game with the Warriors and the Clippers, it was a tale of two halves in terms of defensive energy. And that's what you saw happen again tonight, exactly as Monty pulled out. But yes, Monty pulled out of this game in the first half. the rotations weren't there. And you could tell this was a key adjustment at the half. This was something they spoke about, because not only were the adjustments better or the rotations better, people were gambling even. Swarming folks. It was an energy shifter. They got up in terms of energy. So even if they weren't getting to folks and being able to stay in front of them, just because everyone's energy was up and they were moving on a string, if somebody blew past you, there was someone ready in help. There was someone ready to help double. There was someone ready to just be able to pick up the slack. Another thing we saw them kind of shift on is in the first half, they were doing a lot of doubling on Shea. Mm-hmm. And that didn't work, because when you double on Shea...
I understand the strategy.
Right, exactly. Exactly, because when you double on Shea, you're leaving someone else wide open. Isaiah Joe, Cason Wallace, a multitude of incredibly talented folks on the Thunder side. And so then in the second half, you saw the Warriors go, we're not going to really double on folks. When we're going to double on folks is when they're out on the perimeter corners and you're just available, Draymond. Because Draymond's going to come in and be able to swarm and make you really uncomfortable and get the ball turned over.
Well, it looked like at halftime, the Warriors are like, we are still in this game. We are showing that type of energy. And then they launched into this third quarter push. I mean, there was like a 17-4 run here. And then Malachi Leones comes in. His first bucket of the game is a 3 to tie this thing. What kind of guts did it take to have this sort of run in OKC to stay in the game?
Well, I mean, again, you got Pat going back to back with shots that are, guess what?
What?
In the paint. Right there.
Okay, right
there. And so you get a couple of threes, but in that third quarter, they only took 6 threes. So it made sense.
There's one of them.
Yeah, but they were going in. It's okay to shoot a bunch of threes if they're going in. And in third quarter, they didn't take many, but the efficiency was way up. First half, efficiency was way down. And I just took smarter shots. When you take 17 of your shots, of 23 shots inside the paint, or inside the arc, that's what you should do against this team in this game tonight without Chet. So I just thought they played. Third quarter, I thought, okay, they figured it out. And then in the fourth quarter, they said,
Yeah. And it's worth pointing out that the shots that they made from outside all did what first? Went inside.
Came from inside.
And then came back outside. And so that's what happened in the fourth quarter. You saw a little bit more perimeter passing as opposed to in and out passing. And being able to start the offense externally of the arc as opposed to let's get it back inside with the split action, get the double on Kristaps, get the double on Al Horford, get the double on whoever's in that position in the post, and then be able to look off opposite side of the court to see who's wide open and get the ball passed back out. But yeah, the Warriors did not stick to the plan of getting inside the paint first, seeing what's available to them, and then going out in that second half, in the fourth. But the third, beautiful basketball.
Yeah, beautiful. And the fourth quarter was pretty ugly basketball. I mean, the Warriors shot 28%, the Thunder shot 29%, but it was a rock fight.
Yeah, they were tired. They were tired. They were sluggish. Both teams were.
And if you're the Warriors, I don't know. I just thought that they would go back to what they did in the third quarter. It worked so well for them. The only quarter they won was the third, and they didn't do that. And so I was just puzzled by the shot selection. And you should take it into the teeth of that defense and see what happens. You'll get a foul, you get fouled to get to the line, maybe 3-point play. You get something out of that. And instead they were just...
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at that crunch time tape because the Warriors were still in this thing in the fourth quarter. Career.
And that's true. In clutch time, the only person to score for the Warriors was Guy Santos. And the only person, or the only two people to get rebounds in clutch time were Guy Santos and Al Horford. There just wasn't enough activity at the end of that game, and we saw the opposite of that against Houston. That being said, that shot that Guy Santos took that he missed in terms of the three-pointer, I don't dislike that shot. It went in, it came back out. He had been hitting shots throughout the night, and he's been a good shooter in those moments in recent games. So I don't dislike that shot. The shot that Brandon Podziemski took, definitely think falls under the bucket of what Monty was saying in terms of shot selection, poor shot selection. It was forced. There were too many bodies in front of him. There could have been other opportunities to pass it out and set something up, hopefully. But overall, in crunch time, both teams look sluggish. And it comes down to something I've been saying. You need a bucket. And you need a strapper on defense. You need somebody that can strap somebody up. And Shea Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a bucket.
Yeah.
And he did that little sidestep, and you knew it was going in. He was already frustrated because he had gotten tied up a few plays before with, I believe, Kristaps and Draymond. I think he hurt his knee or something, or like hit his knee.
Against,
yeah. And so you could see he was frustrated. When he gets into a mode of, let me end this. I'm tired. Let me end this. He does it. Shai Gilgeous does it.
I mean, 27 points for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, less than his average of about 32 a game, and most of those points, he's got 14 points from the free throw line too. It never felt like he got extremely explosive as he arrived at a night that wasn't particularly efficient for him. 6 of 15,
yeah.
thank you, and 1 of 4. Hey, let's take it back to the Warriors. We have to talk about Kristaps Porzingis. He missed the last 6 games. Just looking at his substitution patterns, I was like, okay, 4 minutes in the first quarter, 4 more minutes in the second quarter. I thought he was going to have 16, right? No.
23
minutes?
Yeah.
How do you think he looked out there?
Shocked. I mean, he looked great.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that he looked better than I thought he would look.
Right.
Again, you see there's tantalizing moments, and you can see what he can do inside. You just throw the ball to him.
Yeah, I'd say he looked great considering.
Yeah.
Right? Considering somebody that hasn't played in
fair.
6 games, that hasn't had a ton of opportunity to play with this team in a long time. I mean, he was moving up the floor. 23 minutes was way past what I expected.
Same.
Yeah.
I think we all thought 16 to 20 minutes max. And not only he was playing in the crunch time, he was being utilized in crunch time as well. He got on the boards as well. So this is probably my favorite stat of the night for him. He drew 6 fouls. That's a game changer for the Warriors, to be able to have somebody that can draw fouls, draw attention, and open things up outside of Stephen Curry when he comes back.
They started doubling him.
Correct.
You're right. See, and there you go. So they needed him.
Yeah, he also not only can he score, but he's a good passer too. I mean, he threw a couple of dimes out there to guys who made the shot. So I thought he did a good job. He was +6, which is the only guy on the Warriors who can say that.
Yeah, welcome back. Exciting that he was even on the road trip, making his debut after a lengthy of the game. We go to the very end of the third quarter. Who else? Guy Santos involved with this one. Races to the hoop. Look at all his defenders missing.
Yeah.
But tips in that rebound. You can see 4 defenders in the paint. But Guy says no. Oh no, that one is mine. And that is precisely, Zena, how you want to end a quarter, giving your team some hope that they are in this game.
Effort, consistency in effort, consistency in energy. This is what Guy Santos always brings. He had 3 offensive rebounds to add to his 8 defensive rebounds tonight. This is why the Warriors were like, we need you. We need to bring this onto our team. We need to have this coming off the bench in this situation, being able to start. Did he start tonight? Oh, my gosh.
Yep.
Yes, he did, of course. Yeah. But being able to start, he has just been so solid for the Warriors.
Consistent.
He's been, in many ways, kind of a lifesaver in the sense that a lot of things that are necessary for an under-talented team, to survive, he does those things. You got to scrape, and bump and grind. You got to do all these things. And that's his game.
Yeah.
That's what he does. I mean, in addition to that, he's also productive. So he's not just bringing energy, he's also bringing some production points, rebounding and all of that. So I don't know where they would be without him. I just know that they wouldn't look the same.
One of the most important players in Steph Curry's absence. We're talking about scoring. We're talking about that hustle. We're talking about consistency, being in the starting lineup right there. Previous seasons, he was the 14th man on the bench. He was all the way up.
And he was happy to be there.
He was.
And he was happy to be there. Every opportunity he has to be around the game, to learn from folks around him, to be able to produce, whether it's energy, effort, whatever, he's always going to be. I talk about, you talked about a little bit about the points, sure. We talk a little bit about the rebounds, sure. Second chance points, 8. 8. This is huge. And you talk about knowing your scouting report. The OKC Thunder are 29th in the league in terms of the offensive boards that they allowed other teams have. Perfect. Guy Santos says, that's my calling card. This is what I do, baby. And he takes advantage, gets 8 second chance points.
That's an example of looking at what you're facing and saying, okay, here's what I can do. And Guy Santos did a great job of it tonight to get 22 and 11, spark the offense. But he played smart. That's what you do, I mean, this is their weak point. Let's attack that.
1,000%.
And they did it.
Yeah, not a game to be disappointed in. The Warriors do not get the win, though. Let's see what Steve Kerr had to say, breaking it down just a little more. Brought to you by BMW.
I thought he looked like a guy who hadn't played in a little bit, rhythm-wise. But I thought he looked great physically. Really encouraging night, for him to play 23 minutes. And, I talked to him after the game. He said he felt good. And so it was really, really fun to see him. You can see what kind of weapon he is and the size he gives us. And obviously, we're just figuring out combinations and, actions we want to run with him, for him. So it'll take a little time, but really encouraging to see him out there. And I was just so impressed with our guys' fight. We were right there. I know both teams were banged up, but, to come in here and give ourselves a chance, that's the common thread right now. It feels like we are giving ourselves a chance every night, despite all the injuries, and the guys are really competing well together.
It seemed like Draymond bit for
Yeah, for sure. But he's really good spacing the floor too, just on the weak side. We don't have to play through him. We can, but we can also just play pick and roll on the other side of the floor, and he keeps his man occupied, and the spacing that he provides really gives us a lot of opportunities.
Just be able to throw the ball down to him, and I think he drew 3 or 4 fouls in that first half in pretty limited minutes.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to throw it to him and Al, it's a good way to gain an advantage. I mean, that's all you're trying to do offensively is find a way to gain an advantage, make the defense rotate, and both guys are able to do that, and they're going to get us a lot of open looks.
You had both of them, Draymond and Iggy, on the floor at one point late. How interesting, maybe fun is it for you to try these bigger lineups?
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that we'll see that one a whole lot. Tonight it was just a matter of let's just put our best players on the floor down the stretch, and LJ was on a minutes restriction, couldn't play him anymore. It just felt like why not just put our best players on the floor and sort it out. Thought we got some decent looks. Had a couple open threes to cut it to 1 in the last few minutes, and we just needed to make a couple shots and put some pressure on them to make them feel the strain of being behind or being tied, and we just couldn't quite get there.
What's the domino effect?
The Thunder reach 50 wins this season, first team to reach that milestone this season, behind 27 points from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but the Warriors forced him into 4 turnovers. Inefficient night, 6 of 15. Gosh, these are moral victory questions. Huh? Will you take it? Zena, would you take it?
Listen, I'm taking it because the way that the Warriors looked like against teams that didn't have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I am very pleased to see how they frustrated him. It was not easy for Shai to get off, and you saw him going early, and you thought, ooh, this might be a long night for the Warriors.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you saw the Warriors start to not chase him off of his spots, but really start to funnel him into uncomfortable positions. And yes, we're watching highlights of him being Shai. This is what he does. He can get behind defenders. He can get into the paint really with ease. But look at all those X's. That's a lot of shots that he's missed as well, and it was forced shots that he missed. It wasn't just because he was wide open and got, off balance or wasn't able to finish a shot. He was bothered all night. And you're right, moral victory, but hey, this is also just a glimpse into what you could do if you have to match up with OKC 1 versus 8. This is a good thing to learn and see tape on.
Just do better at not fouling him. I know he's going to get some calls.
Yeah, sure.
But 15 free throws.
Yeah.
I mean, that's too many. If you can keep him down to 7, 8, or 9, somewhere in there, you're doing a good job. But when he gets 15, it's okay then to go 6 or 15 from the field because he offset it with his free throw shooting with 14 points from the line.
Yeah, again, 14 of his 27 coming from the stripe. Let's talk about pods. Some good, some bad. A nice stat line, 17, 6, and 6. Only 1 turnover here. Overall, head into the game trying to make some good shots. The shot selection late, though.
Early, too.
A little too early?
Yeah.
Early too.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He took 4 threes in the first few minutes and didn't make any of them.
Yeah.
And as the guy who had the ball the most, I thought that's setting a bad tone, you know. And he recovered a little bit as the game went on. His shot got a little bit better, but then late, then there were some opportunities that he didn't take. But I thought he rebounded well like he usually does. 6 assists. It was an okay game by him. He was better in Houston.
Okay.
I would agree with that. And the more that Brandon Podziemski is asked to do, the more his standard has to continue to rise. The more people are going to be dissatisfied with the way that he shows up, or in terms of his shot selection or his poise in crunch time, and or just being able to involve his teammates. And it did start to regress over the course of the game. He played 39 minutes. That's 2 more minutes than anyone else on the floor tonight.
Yeah.
And so he welcomes those challenges.
Yep.
And with each game, as he welcomes those challenges, he's going to have to rise to the occasion. And he had an okay game. But now his standard is you have to have a great game, especially with stepping out.
Yeah, I can see the desperation from him and for the team. We're behind, we got to hit those threes.
Sure.
Let's see if we could get it going. Was not their night in that department. All right, when we come back on Toyota Warriors, with that question in mind, it's time for some blind ranking. So I'm going to name 5 of the best teams in NBA history. Monty and Zena will then rank them 1 through 5. But you don't know what order they're coming in. Ooh. So you gotta save some down here.
Okay.
Figure out what your number 1 is going to be.
We got a teammate. Let's go.
All right, so are you ready to play?
Absolutely.
Let's begin.
Let's
What
go.
is the first one that we will see right here? Oh, it's the Thunder last season. Yeah, that makes sense. Shea, MVP, Finals MVP, scoring champ as well, leading the way. Where do you rank them 1 through 5?
5.
Oh.
5.
Why?
Well, because they made a big leap there, but I think that team would not be able to compete with some of the other teams we've seen in this league that are truly great. Their timing was right. They went 7 games with the Nuggets in the postseason.
Right.
And Nuggets could have had them there. They had a couple injuries there. So,
Nuggets and
great
Pacers
season.
could have had them.
Yeah.
Monty, I'm actually with you. I'm going to stick with 5 too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Yeah, no disrespect.
Top
but
5.
understand.
I mean, that's still
Top 5 is still top 5 is still
Yes.
top 5. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, let's
Okay.
take a look at the next one. We might have to go to the East Coast for this one.
Okay, where we going?
We're
Who's
going to
up
go
next?
with Larry Bird and those 85-86 Celtics right here. I was reading up on this team, 40-1 at the Garden, just absolute juggernauts. Zena, where do you put them, 1 through 5?
I might have to do 2. And I'm only thinking of who they had to go through at the time. They went through the Lakers. I'm looking at Larry Bird and just his dominance during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go 2.
Okay, Monty, need your ranking.
I'm going to go 4. See, here's the thing. I know there are 3 teams that should be in this top 5, and these 2 aren't any of those 3 teams.
Really?
So I'm going to assume that the other 3 teams that I know are better
Okay.
are going to be 1, 2, and 3.
This is why it's blind. See,
Yeah, that's
this is
right.
why- So you have your top 5 in your head. You're
Oh,
waiting.
yeah.
Okay, well,
I have the
what-
top 3 in my head.
Okay.
And these 2 aren't it.
Okay. Well, who was the rival of this team? It was the Showtime
LA Lakers.
Showtime
That's what I'm
Lakers.
saying,
Okay, so
like-
let's go to that.
You beat the Showtime Lakers. Money. Okay, we're gonna see this.
Specifically, the 1987 Lakers right here. Okay, can we see some of those stats up here as we do our 1 through 5
Yep.
for our blind rankings? It was the Showtime Lakers. That was the MVP and Finals MVP, Magic Johnson. Here we go. I mean, all-time rivalry
Kareem,
stuff, like
James
absolutely.
Worthy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
documentaries
there's-
made about this kind of stuff. Where do you rank this team 1 through 5, Zena? So hard.
Wait,
right?
what? Wait, so am I having my own 5 and he has his own 5? Or are we working as a
I think
team?
so. I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Okay.
disagree.
So you
Yes.
don't have to. You don't
I
have to
put
agree at all.
Boston at 2.
Yeah.
Now I messed. Okay, I see what's happening here. I can't. Can I move? Can I move? Okay.
Why
I'm
not?
gonna move Boston down to 3. I'm gonna put Showtime Lakers at 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, you can't move.
I guess we just.
That's why it's blind.
Right. It is blind.
Ranking. Damn it. Okay, sorry. Okay. So I'm gonna go. You're stuck. 3. I'm gonna go 3 for these.
Mom.
Okay.
I'm going to go 3, too. I mean, and full. I was a Lakers fan at the time. And I hated the Celtics, which may be the reason I didn't.
Oh, this
But-
is what's going on here. Okay.
But at the same time, I think that Lakers team was better than the Celtics team we just showed. So
Okay.
I'm going to put them at 3. I think they were slightly ahead, but I still think there are 2 teams that are standing above these guys.
So
What
you
was it
put
like
okay.
watching that in the moment? I mean, that
Incredible.
predates me and
Yeah.
Zena. What I mean, can you even describe the pandemonium of that rivalry?
Well, I said I hate the Celtics, and that's
Yeah.
the way it was. I mean, and Celtics hated the Lakers. You know, it was the best rivalry in the league for a number of years, going back to when Larry and Magic first came into the league. You got Larry and Magic, a perfect conflict there. You know, you got
From
2
college.
rivals. Yeah, and so that was built to be a rivalry, and it played out as it should. Both teams won some championships. Both guys were in the Hall of Fame. Both guys were on the Dream Team. So you look at that, and it was a great rivalry. But I did hate the Celtics, though. I will say that. And I wore a Lakers cap. I mean, I was a
Okay.
much fan. So.
All right, there's a dynasty that we have not seen yet. The
Okay.
Bulls right here, 72 and 10. 72. Okay, I know a team that might have.
I'm putting them at 1.
Number 1.
Yeah, they're going to be my
Okay.
number 1. I
Okay.
feel very confident with this pick. The defensive rating alone. This is when people were talking about this OKC team and what they did last year, being able to keep some scoring teams down. Like the fact that you're able to go through the league at its most physical and still be the best team in terms of defending, and then on top of having Michael Jordan putting the ball in the basket the way they did. I mean, yeah, Bulls got to be number 1 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, number 1, 2.
Okay.
72 wins. They won it all. Jordan won, I don't know, 50,000 awards that year. You got Jordan, you got Pippen, you got Peak Rodman, you got a guy named Steve Kerr on the team.
Kerr.
Yeah,
Shout out
Steve Kerr on the
Steve Kerr.
team. You know, you had a team of the ages, and so I think that's the best team because they not only won 72 games, they finished the deal. And you know, Ron Harper was on that team, Tony Kukoc. They had a roster that ran about 8 or 9 deep with people who can hurt you.
Okay. All right. Can we look at the rankings right now? Because
I got Bulls 1.
Monty has the 2 spot open.
I've
Zena
got the
has
4
the 4
spot.
spot open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what these are blinds. Okay, so what could possibly be the next team?
No!
I think we can look for Dub Nation right here as they built their dynasty. 16-1 in the postseason. That was the season that Kevin Durant joined, got Finals MVP. So
Yeah.
Okay, you feel good about where you're going to slot them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2. I mean,
That's why this is a blind ranking.
that's the best team I've ever seen with my own eyes. I mean, in terms of watching them for a full season. You know, the Bulls, I saw some here and there. But this team, I remember going into the second round of playoffs, conference semifinals against the Utah Jazz. And they played a game in Utah. And that first game, I think it was the first game of the series, it didn't look like the Jazz should be even on the court with them. I mean, they had like a 20-point lead in the first quarter. And it was like, what are we doing here? Why is this even a series? You know, and they were just blowing people away. They had too much firepower, and they played great defense.
Yeah.
And so that's the hard part for people to understand is that people, remember Charles Barkley, they're a jump shooting team.
Excuse me?
Yeah, the jump shooting team's not going to win. Well, if you play defense, you got a chance.
And that's the thing between the Bulls and this Warriors team, why they're so amazing. And mine has to unfortunately slot as number 4. I hate that for me, but that's okay. But the reason why you love these teams is not only because of defense, offense, they were so balanced.
Yeah.
Their attack was so balanced. You could not choose one element of their game to shut down because if you stop one person shooting, if you stop Stephen, you got Clay. If you stop Clay, you got KD. If you stop all of them, remember, Kevon Looney can set some screens for you as well. Draymond Green is setting up screens and setting up distribution all around the court. There were so many weapons on that team, and they had depth.
Yeah.
Just like the Bulls had.
They had a couple of vets in Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston that could go out there and do things.
Just a couple of vets.
Yeah.
Like those
that
two.
were, I mean, it was an embarrassment of riches
There's
because Sean
Sean
Livingston
coming off the bench.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Sean was an automatic mismatch.
Absolutely.
As 6'7" point guard, he'd go on the post and you couldn't guard him. Andre was the ideal guy to connect everybody on that team.
First quarter. I'm going to see Brandon Podziemski active early on defense, flying through for the steal and the slam.
Ooh, get up. I've seen now 2 games do that. Being able to get up. Okay, P, we didn't know. We didn't know. We know now.
You can get a dunk.
He can get a dunk?
Yeah, yeah.
We got to check the dunks and the game notes to see what the tally is right there. But he's like, excuse me, we're in the landing zone, in the highlight zone. All right, let's
get
see
down.
Kristaps Porzingis checking in. More defense? Love it when defense makes it on the highlight zone. Give me that, thank you. Yeah.
Between KP and Al Horford, some disrespectful blocks be happening. I like this.
What makes a block disrespectful?
Well, just one, you think you're good, right? Kenrich Williams is like, oh, I'm here. I'm ready to go. And then here comes KP like, absolutely not, sir.
No
Yeah.
thanks. No, sir.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Al got one in the corner. There.
Mhm,
It's
that,
like,
another volleyball
you rarely
swat.
see that. Yeah.
Al has been averaging a block per game. And then
Ooh.
we're just going to do Guy Santos overall tonight. That's what
Yeah.
happens when you get a career high 22. But yeah, I feel like every show we are talking about Guy Santos, but that's what he deserves. And these are the kind of performances he's had with Steph Curry out.
That is when everybody's on the roster is healthy, he won't be starting. But he will be giving this team valuable minutes off the bench because he does things that every good team has somebody do.
Right.
Fights for the raw.
Right.
Gets on the floor,
Yeah.
grabs rebounds, all little things like that. Important stuff.
Yeah, your stat comparison, lots of yellow in the Warriors column. That's where they outperformed OKC. Still did not get this W. Check out the free throw difference. That played a large role in this one. All right, why don't we hear from Kristaps Porzingis? He missed the 6 games previously to this one and then showed up for 23 minutes. Take a listen.
Like, and how'd you kind of know you would be ready to go tonight?
Yeah, I felt like my body's coming back to where I need to be. Just got honestly just one workout in and felt pretty decent. So I just want to, get out, like, especially getting traded somewhere else. Like, I wanted to get out there as soon as possible. And honestly, so sitting out a couple games was like stinging me a little bit, but today was okay. I just feel a little heavy and shots a little bit not in a good rhythm yet and missing some free throws and all that. But I'm gonna build from this game, and I think I'll be looking better and better with each game.
How would you describe what you kind of went through the last couple of weeks, and I guess why you weren't able to be out there?
Yeah, it's just some health stuff a little bit. And I believe I will be healthy now. Honestly, this is what I really feel, and not to sell anything because obviously I've been in and out again. But this time I really feel that this is it, and finally getting out there like healthy. I was like playing through this. I think now this will be obviously it's only 20 games left or so, but in the regular season. So, but I want to catch a really good rhythm and then see if we can do something in the postseason. So I'm excited for the opportunity, excited to play with these guys, and look forward to getting in top shape and looking really good.
I think it was the first quarter. You go to the bench and you go to Draymond right as you come out. You and him are talking for a minute. Just how have the veterans on this team kind of helped you, I guess, assimilate into the locker room as a team?
No, it's been good, honestly. Like Draymond is super vocal, and honestly, he really know how to play basketball, just the reads he make, like now, like how quickly he is to adjust to my post ups and like flashing and doing this, and like he reads the game so well. He's so experienced, honestly, that it's nice to play with somebody so experienced and so knowledgeable about the game. And then obviously we having conversations, like he's helping me, like to kind of get accustomed to the team and what we're running and offense and defense and this and that. So I've been kind of just whenever I have a question, he's the guy that can give me some some good like insight on what we want.
Kristaps.
Well, let's take a look around the wild Western Conference. Woo! That goes out to you, Fezzi. We got to check in with the Clippers, the team chasing the Warriors in the standings. They were playing the Grizzlies on the road. Fourth quarter, Darius Garland launching. Okay, so we're going to show you all 3 of the shots that Darius Garland made from 3 tonight. The newish guy getting his footing with the Clippers and trying to help the Clippers maintain this lead. Now, with just over 3 minutes left in the fourth, this game would actually be tied at 114. Who is it? Garland.
I don't think I knew that was in his
21
game.
points.
Well,
21 points, and the Clippers win 123-120.
great game by Darius Garland
Yeah.
against a team that frankly is
You should
not,
beat.
Yeah,
You
and
should
then the Grizzlies are mailing it in the rest of the season.
Gotcha, mailing it in. There's another word for that. But let's take a look. So both the Warriors and the Clippers winning tonight. It's getting tight for that 8 and 9 seed right there. So that kind of brings up a question. It comes to us via walk-up law. You need a champion. It's a closing argument. Will the Warriors finish as the 8 seed? There are 19 games left. They are getting healthier.
Yeah.
What do you think? 8 seed or higher? Or,
I think a lot of it depends on how much KP you get and when Steph gets back. I'm tempted to say 8th is probably where they're going to end up. Phoenix has got a decent lead on them right now, but Phoenix has some injuries they're dealing with too. So 7 is conceivable, but that means KP has to be on the court and Steph has to come back. And if that happens, come back within the next couple of weeks, And if that happens, then I think 7 is doable.
Okay, what do you
It's
think?
been 3 months, about 3 months or a little bit over that they've
4.
been in 4 months.
Oh, yeah, in 8th place?
Parked
Yeah.
in
been in-
8th place.
Yeah.
Stay parked.
Stay parked. Stay parked.
I think they'll be parked. And the only reason I say that is because Phoenix has been able to find some incredible wins, even without Dylan Brooks, even without the beginning of the season, without Jalen Green. And they are a very resilient team. I see the Clippers and the Warriors battling towards the end of the season, but I see the Warriors beating out that battle. But I don't see Phoenix allowing the Warriors to catch up with them and then getting into competition with them.
I don't think the 8th seed matches the Warriors' expectations this season. However, as the 8th seed, should that be how they finish in the play-in, that does give them 2 chances to survive in the play-in. Should you drop to 9 and 10, that's whoa, oh my goodness, anything can happen territory.
Yeah, and the problem with that is that you don't want to have 2 chances to get to the playoffs because you got an experienced team.
Yes.
They'd like to have a little bit of a break,
Yeah.
And if you're at 7 seed and you win, you can, okay, we got some time. We got 4 days or so. But if you got to go through two wins to get there, it compresses your time, and you come to the playoffs, you're a little more, I won't say exhausted, but you've taken a little more out of you than you wanted to.
Okay.
Absolutely, a little bit more exertion. But that one game, 7 and 8, I absolutely believe the Warriors are capable in a one-game matchup. I think they're scary to anyone, especially if by this time they have rolled into games like they have against OKC, against Houston, being able to win and play up, and they get some more health back from their roster.
Yeah, these types of games, the Rockets games, this kind of stuff matters for morale and the minutes of the guys who want to be role players and want to have a bigger role. Energized team, but as always, it's what we see on defense. Lately, Draymond has had the assignment of Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. These are some big-time, meaty roles, stuff that he really thrives on. And when Draymond was at the podium, he mentioned some of the things that's helping him lately.
To the team, just come on, be comfortable with the team. How have you done that?
No, most importantly, communication. Just trying to help him get in his spots that he likes the ball. I watched a lot of film. I'm just, trying to figure out where his comfort zone is. Does he like shooting right? Does he like shooting left? A bunch of different things, and then also just, I don't know, be normal. Got to get to know people. And so I think that's most important is when you walk in every day, you speak. You see how someone's doing, all of those things. But just from a basketball perspective, I just try to help him out offensively and defensively, understand the things that we do and try to get him up to speed as fast as we can.
Point late, we're closing with you, Guy, Al, and Kristaps. And, even tonight, it was just like a lot bigger lineups. How much are you enjoying that
I love
switch up? Yeah.
I love it. It's great. As having more size, and we'll get more and more comfortable with it. It's still fresh. Is that my second time playing with KP? Yeah. Oh, it's the second game. All right, so, we'll get better and better and figure out more and more. But, I think when you have more size out there, you're just able to cover up more. You're able to cover up more mistakes. And so, and then it closes gaps as well when you have more length. So, I like it.
Big smile for Draymond talking about having Al or KP play at the 5 and what it frees up for him. Taking a look at your Toyota drive ahead. A back-to-back for the Warriors. It starts on the road against Utah, then the Warriors home against the Bulls. More back-to-backs coming up on the schedule, just relentless. It never lets up. But one of the things getting better for the Warriors is their health, Monty. All right, we have an update in that department. It is your Xfinity Play Smart. Seth Curry was on the injury report as questionable, ended up being out, but it looks like we got the update pregame that Steph is likely to play either Monday or Tuesday. He's only played 2 games this season, but hey, how about we get one of the Currys on the floor? The other will follow. This is positive news.
Yeah, when they first signed Seth, the thing was, he could space the floor. He can, Seth, quiet as it's kept, Seth has a better 3-point shooting percentage career than his more famous older brother. And so having him out with this long period of time, you just missed that sniper off the bench. And you've seen the Warriors go through certain games where they struggle from deep. And to have a guy who is, one of the best shooters of all time laid up, you really could use that.
And you also could use just the gravity, that knowing someone that is on the same level as the shooter of Stephen Curry is out there on the floor, what that will do for moving defenses. Yeah. You can't forget about somebody like Seth Curry. I was going to say Stephen.
Oh, we're going to be making that mistake.
I know. You can't forget about anyone like Stephen, but you definitely can't forget about Seth either. And so just having him out there on the floor, let him hit 2-3 shots, teams are going to wake up and be like, oh, we got to guard him too.
Yeah, I mean, I've had so many coaches and scouts over the years tell me that if you find a guy in college who has one great skill, he can have a long career in the NBA.
Exactly.
What's that skill? Hey, we got all the way through the show without mentioning GP2 had a career high in rebounds tonight with 7